How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading with the prices going up or down. Amazon and Immutable want to make it easier to launch crypto games. Immutable has joined AWS's ISV Accelerate program, a sales program for companies that use AWS services in their products. Game developers using Ethereum-compatible Immutable X blockchain can now join AWS Active, a program for startups that offers technical support, up to 100,000 in AWS credits, and other resources, instead of using some other group like Anchor. AWS offers cloud computing platforms and data storage services. In the gaming sector, it offers cloud gaming services, game servers, game security services, game analytics, and video game artificial intelligence and machine learning, to name just a few of their capabilities. But it's pretty sad to see a blockchain company go to a non-blockchain solution. Caroline Ellison, Sam Bankman-Fried told me to take billions from FTX customers. Sam Bankman-Fried's ex-girlfriend also told the courtroom that he was the one who set up the system to allow Alameda to take money. He directed me to commit these crimes, Ellison said in her brief 15-minute appearance before the trial broke for lunch. Alameda took several billions of dollars from FTX customers and used it for investment, she said. She went on to say that Alameda took $14 billion worth of FTX customer funds total, using $10 billion worth of the money to repay its own lenders. I thought Alameda's position was risky, she recalled in the court, saying that she didn't think the firm's balance sheet would inspire confidence in lenders. She added Bankman-Fried suggested adding Paperbird, a company under which Sam held shares in FTX, could be added to the balance sheet of Alameda to make it look less risky. While performing a risk assessment, Ellison testified that she estimated Alameda would have a 30% chance of being able to repay all its loans during the market downturn, but with the $3 billion illiquid in venture investments, she gave the company a 100% chance of not being able to repay its loans, even with access to FTX customer funds. CrypToadz NFT sells for $1.6 million in Ethereum linked to Tornado Cash. CrypToadz 4030 was purchased today on the OpenSea marketplace for 1,055 wrapped ETH, or more than $1.6 million. The buyer also paid OpenSea fees worth 42,000 ETH. The amount paid is dramatically more than the typical CrypToadz, which starts at about 0.53 ETH, or about $835, not almost millions. Given the use of Tornado Cash to funnel substantial amounts of Ethereum in the funding wallet, this may indeed be an attempt to be some wash trading or money laundering by the buyer using an NFT purchase to further complicate the flow of funds between crypto wallets and assets. But on the other hand, the use of Tornado Cash does not necessarily mean that you are doing anything illegal or have illegal intent. It could just mean that you want privacy. Over on the Dixie, we are making a bounce on our support level. We did break our other EMA level, so if we continue down, we are likely going to break this and see this Fibonacci level tested. If we continue down, that would be a pretty dramatic number of red candles, so you could see some green candles in response from that. Our momentum is starting to push out, RSI is starting to push away, stochastic's starting to come down, and the view up is starting to come down. So I would watch for maybe a small green candle tomorrow for a retest and then maybe a rejection after that. If we do that, that would put us at a little bit of bullish action before a bigger break. So that wouldn't be as dramatic of a downturn. Kind of like you see right here on our total. We have this manipulation X that wants to bring us down, and we have a doji candle. If we are followed by a green candle after this doji candle, that is a bullish engulfing candle comparative to this red candle, that would give us a bottoming pattern that could push us forward. If you're not familiar with those, smash a like, join us in the Discord, and get them links. But if we are followed by a red candle after this will show that buyers were not able to suppress any selling pressure and that the sellers took control of the asset. Our stochastic is pushing out from a bearish cross, RSI is curling away, Momentum's coming down, and our money flow is rejecting that neutral. The VWAP is in a bearish trend, but it's pretty low, so it is likely that we will get some sort of kind of bounce from here. Or the VWAP could drag very low, lower than we've seen in quite some time. That is another possibility. We have been lower before, it's just not very often that you see a very big dip. Over on Bitcoin dominance, we are seeing a little bit of a slide as we come to this support zone back here. Our stochastic is starting to get a bearish cross and curl away. RSI is starting to head down, momentum starting to round away, and our VWAP is getting close to that neutral and wants to break to the bearish side. If that VWAP falls to the bearish territory, that momentum will get a red dot, and our money flow will start to fall afterwards. Oops, didn't mean to go on the lower time frame there. So I would say we pretty much invalidated our double bottom possibility as we are chopping sideways. Now, this sideways chop could be a bull flag that could still push us forward, but we are overall rounding more than going flat. So if we continue to round, get a red candle tomorrow and see a push down, it is very likely we will not see the top level retested here. Our stochastic is starting to get bearish divergence still, pushing out as our price maintains its zone. Momentum is starting to roll away with a red dot that wants to bring us down as our VWAP falls into the bearish territory. If that VWAP gets a bounce here, we could see this momentum resume bullish action, at which point this money flow would continue to come back up. Our money flow is coming into some resistance around this -16, where we have dropped from a couple times so far. So if we do not break through this zone, watch for a lower low. If we make a lower low on the money flow there, then we are likely going to continue our bearish trend, or even if we make a continued low. If we keep zigzagging around here while our other indicators start to cool off, we will see price action start to slide as our trend is heavy in the bearish zone currently. Over on Bitcoin, we are getting a bit of our breakout here, so we are snatching that wick up. Stochastic is pushing out, RSI is starting to push away, momentum starting to roll over, our VWAP's coming down, and the money flow is starting to come out. So we have a confirmation of a breakdown here, so I'm getting rid of our higher possibility. Now if we look over to the 4 hour, we have taken about half of our move. We've made 2 bounces in the zone. We could make some sort of double bottom here if we continue forward. But if we start seeing red candles, we're likely going to just see this be a down channel. If it forms a straight down channel, we're likely going to see a price action up from that as well. However, if we form some sort of sloppy down channel, let's see if we can find, that's kind of flat. You get like these where you don't get any sort of straight, you just get the chop. If you get that, we're likely going to just kind of drop. If we start to chop around, we could start to gain some bullish strength and continue up. RSI is trying to point up, stochastic wants to round up. Our money flow is trying to make a bounce here off that neutral. Our VWAP is trying to break through the neutral, so if our VWAP breaks through while the money flow maintains this bullish action, we are likely going to see our price action continue up. The momentum does want to come up, so if our VWAP crosses through, we'll likely get a green dot to invalidate the red dot. Our RSI does have a green dot on it, signaling that our RSI does want to move forward. Over on the 2 hour here, you can see these EMAs, we've just crashed through several. We are trying to round back up, so if we can cross back through, we could start a bit of a bullish trend up, which would give us that double bottom possibility. Our stochastic is trying to get a bullish cross and push forward. RSI is trying to push forward. Our VWAP is in the bullish territory, but it's not very strong. If it doesn't gain continual strength from here and break past these resistances around 7-8, then we are likely going to see a fall away. If we come up here, meet some kind of resistance, start to flatten out, we could get rejected, fall to the lower side, and see continued bearish action. Our momentum does have a bullish divergence that wants to bring us up. Our price action has a bullish divergence here on the 2-hour, as our price action is getting lower lows, while our momentum is getting higher lows. This could be indicative of a push up, so that could be a confirmation of a push forward. We'll have to see if that money flow can sustain bullish action. Over on the 1-hour, we are meeting some resistance with this EMA level, and this bigger EMA is starting to round out. If we see all these EMAs continue to bend out, we are likely going to continue down. Now stochastic is coming up, RSI is starting to bend away, our VWAP is starting to curl off, and our money flow is starting to taper out, so I would keep an eye on that. The momentum is trying to push forward with a bullish divergence here as well that has transferred to the 2-hour. If that can transfer to our 4-hour, we may get a pretty significant move from this. Over on graph for the daily, we are trying to get a slight push, a little bit of a retest as we did push down pretty hard yesterday. RSI is overall sliding, stochastic starting to take a bit of a slide. We do have that bearish cross still playing us down. Money flow is trying to make a bullish cross. It's not very strong, so I would keep an eye on these lower time frames. If they start to weaken, we could just curl over and lose the zone here like we did before. Our VWAP is starting to come down, so I would keep an eye on that as our medium term is coming out, even though we're trying to get bullish action. Our momentum is starting to push out overall, so most of our indicators are looking a bit bearish. I would watch if we can make a confirmation of a bullish move tomorrow with a green candle, but this is a bit of a bear flag here that could drop us pretty decent. Just rough it out real quick. That's very crooked there. So then our bear flag could take us right around that 7.5 zone, so we could lose about half a cent here. RSI wants to head up, but our stochastic wants to bend off. It does have a bullish cross and is trying to continue forward, but I would keep a close eye on it. Our VWAP's coming down, our money flow's maintaining a bearish trend and pushing out pretty strongly. The momentum is starting to round away as our VWAP is starting to lose strength, so if that VWAP continues to lose strength, that momentum will continue to push out and our money flow will continue to push down. Over on the 2-hour, we do have a bit of a double bottom that could be here, so I would pay attention, see if we can break through this 819 or 82, however you want to say. Stochastic's trying to push forward, RSI is trying to push forward, our VWAP is trying to trend up. We do have a bit of a bullish trend going here. Our money flow is pushing forward, so that is good for us. And our momentum has several green dots and red dots, so it's very indecisive, but it does look like the bulls are starting to gain some headway. If we can continue forward and break this resistance, that would be positive for us to try and retrace some of these losses back there. Over on the 1-hour, our stochastic is running up pretty strong. RSI is going kind of flat here, so I would keep an eye on it. We're meeting some resistance around this 51. Our VWAP is starting to roll away. Money flow is starting to get a rejection from that neutral. So if our money flow continues to get that rejection and our VWAP continues to roll out, we're likely going to hit the bottom of our support where we could break down. Momentum is starting to curl away as our VWAP is starting to lose strength, but we do have that bullish divergence that wants to bring us up. The next couple hourly candles will help determine if that can play out or not. If we get a few more red candles and they're stronger red candles, we're likely going to fall to the bearish side. Over on Anchor for the daily, we do have a manipulation X, even though we're trying to get a green candle. So you can see these green candles all over. If we get rejections after these, that would be a pretty decent move to the downside as we didn't just flush out. So that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Stochastic's making a bearish cross and pushing down. Our RSI is overall trending out. Momentum's getting bearish divergence as it's getting lower highs, and our price is staying relatively in the same area. Momentum is pushing out with a red dot as our VWAP falls to the bearish side. That money flow is testing that neutral. We are trying to curl back up, so it is important to see where the lower time frames stand. If the money flow is coming out, we're likely going to see this start to curl off. Over on the 4 hour, we are getting a bit of a push off that support, so that is good for us. We're breaking this EMA level, so if that can continue, we may trend to our other EMAs. It would be a very tough spot to break above this 2-cent zone because we have a lot of EMAs just bound up right there. Our RSI is trying to head up, stochastic's getting a bullish cross that wants to push us forward, but our money flow is in the bearish territory, so keep an eye on this. If it starts to roll away, we are likely going to see some further downside. The VWAP is trying to break bullish, but it's not gaining much strength. Our momentum's getting a green dot, but if that VWAP just rolls over here like it did back there, then we would likely see some continual downside from here. Over on the 2 hour, we are trying to kind of sidestep back up. We did fill this gap we had. Stochastic is pushing forward, RSI is trying to push forward, our VWAP is pushing above that neutral, and our money flow wants to go bullish, but it's kind of struggling here. If that money flow starts to curl over, it will start a bearish trend, as we'll have made a lower high with lower lows. Our momentum is trying to push up with a bullish divergence though, so I would keep an eye on that. If we get continued green candles that break us above this like 1916 zone, then we could have a potential push to the upside. However, if we start to get red candles from here, we're likely going to meet resistance and test the support level. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic starting to curl away. It's overall getting lower highs, even though price is trying to come up for higher highs, so we could make bearish divergence here. RSI is starting to trend out. VWAP is pushing up with higher highs, but it's starting to curl off. So I would keep a close eye on it. If it starts to reject around this zone, around this 19, like we have several times in the past, then we are in for a pretty decent move to the downside. Momentum is trying to come up and our money flow is in the bullish territory with our VWAP. So as long as these things can sustain bullish action and they get some sort of a bounce off the neutral, then that would be positive for us to continue to move forward. However, if both these things fall to the bearish side, we're likely going to see a pretty decent flush out. Over on XRP for the daily, we are breaking support. We're not following the status quo here, where we're getting a green candle with everything else. We're just continuing down. Stochastic is pushing out, RSI is trending out, our momentum is coming down, that VWAP is rejecting that neutral, and our money flow is starting a bit of a bearish trend here. So we are maintaining bearish strength, and that could continue to drag us down toward this value area low, like I've been mentioning for quite some time now. We have a bit of a bear flag under our bear flag that could end up dropping us down. RSI is starting to kind of curl off here. Stochastic wants to make a run up with a bullish divergence, but we're kind of getting stopped out with this red candle. If we see another red candle after this, it's likely that divergence won't happen and will continue to the downside, at least filling this wick. Our money flow is maintaining decent bearish momentum. It's not getting anywhere above this -7, and it's staying kind of below this -14, so we're staying within this range, maintaining bearish strength. If that continues, we're likely going to continue down. We just need this VWAP to fall to the bearish side. That VWAP is managing to maintain some bullish action, so that is trying to bring our momentum up, but with the money coming out, I'm not sure how long that would last. Over on the 2 hour, there's our answer. Our VWAP's starting to kind of curl, so it's not going to last much longer unless money flow starts to come back in. Our stochastic is starting to round out, RSI is starting to come away, our money flow is maintaining a bearish trend, and our momentum is trying to push up, but with this VWAP starting to curl, that could be in danger of breaking down. Usually when you get these bearish moves, you will see bullish divergences and they won't play out. Just like when you see bullish moves and you see bearish divergences, those usually won't take you down. So you'll get the counter sometimes, and sometimes it's just noise, but most of the time it may not be. Like back here, bullish divergence, that was pretty much noise. Bullish divergence, that was pretty much noise. But when you're getting in more of an accumulation phase, then these bullish divergences tend to play out more often. We have a manipulation X here on the 1 hour. We are starting to kind of round off with a bearish engulfing candle. If we get a red candle after this, that will likely start a bearish trend. If you're not familiar with this trend, smash that like and join us in the Discord. Our stochastic is trying to push forward, RSI is overall trending out, VWAP is overall trending out, and that momentum is starting to come down. The money flow was in a bullish trend, but we are starting to curl. So I would keep an eye on if we break past this negative 16. If we do, we're likely going to see lower price action from there. Over on Algo for the daily, we are rejecting away, so it's kind of in line with XRP. Stochastic and RSI are pushing out pretty strong. Money flow is about to break through that neutral, so if these lower time frames don't gain some strength in the money flow, we're likely going to start a bearish trend here. Our VWAP is deep in the bearish territories, getting new lows, and our momentum is following it. So I would watch its lower time frames. If they don't start to flash bullish, then we're probably going to see lower price action. RSI is overall starting to slide out here. Stochastic's pretty beat down. It does want to make a rebound though, so that could be good for a short-term push up, but we did dump out pretty decent. We did get a small green candle. We could just resume that dump down and fill these wicks. That's kind of like how I said you get these green candles in between these big pushes, and those kind of help balance out. We may get some kind of chop here, we'll have to watch. Stochastic's overall pushing down, RSI is trending away, our VWAP is trying to touch that neutral, it wants to break bullish, so if the VWAP can cross through here, that would be good for us, and the money flow would likely start to trend up even more. If this money flow starts to round away though, we would maintain a bearish trend. The momentum is pushing down pretty decent, it does show some signs that it wants a green dot, I see that VWAP trying to break through, so I would watch those lower time frames. If our money flow maintains strong bearish strength like the 2 hour is, and on the 1 hour and 2 hour, then that 4 hour is likely going to start to weaken out. Stochastic's trying to run up, RSI is starting to taper off, our VWAP is already coming into resistance around this 5.7, about 6, like we have several times before, so if we're not able to break through here, we'll push down like we have before. Our VWAP is, we're slightly peaking above, we are getting higher lows with it, but again, if we don't get a higher high from here, we won't have a bullish trend, and then we won't have possibility to trend higher for this EMA, and we could stop out by this lower EMA. And money flow is trending down pretty strong, and momentum does have bullish divergences, but again, those don't always help you in a bearish environment. Over on the 1 hour here, we are trying to stair step back up, so we did try to regain some losses, so we are set up to see another slide down. Our stochastic's starting to round out, RSI's starting to round away, our VWAP's starting to come down, and our money flow is pushing a deep bearish trend, so the 1 hour and 2 hour are not looking very good for the 4 hour to gain kind of recovery. If they continue to look like this, we're probably going to break the supports in the next couple days and see lower price targets. Momentum is starting to round away with that VWAP losing, so I would keep an eye on all other things as we are looking more bearish in the market than bullish. Thank you for watching tonight's video, I hope you have a wonderful night. Again, smash that like and join us in the Discord.